The thing I love most about the American muscle community is seeing how each car is different from all the rest. How it's unique. One of a kind.
Take this one for instance. In 2005, Ford mass-produced over 160,000 Mustangs. 20,000 of which they put a 4.6-liter, 300 horsepower V8 engine and a manual transmission. And how many of those came in screaming yellow? Just over 1,500 of them. And then you have your companies such as Roush and Hellion that add a little customization of their own. So this one, for instance, has the Roush Stage 2 or Sport package, which includes your body kit and a performance suspension upgrade. And how many of those come with 3D carbon fiber striping, 3-inch Magnaflow exhaust with electronic cutouts, an engine overhaul combined with a 76mm Hellion turbo that produces just about 600 horsepower? Well, just one. This one. So let's talk specs. First, you have your 4.6 liter that's been bored out to a 5.0 and worked over fairly extensively. Then you have your 76mm Hellion turbo that has the capability of outputting a mammoth 24 pounds of boost. Now, the engine build is only rated to handle about 18, and it's currently set at 12. So, after its final tune, it dynoed at 508 horses at 6,000 RPMs and 542 foot-pounds of torque at 4,400 RPMs. Do the math. You lose about 15% on the drivetrain, thereabouts. Therefore, you're sitting at roughly 600 horses. Now, the turbo was set at 17 pounds of boost for a short time and was dynoed at 635 horses to the tires. Now, I drove it at that time as well, and even though your face ends up in the back seat with a smile plastered from ear to ear, accelerating with tire smoke at any speed in any gear tends to get a little dicey for my taste. Turning down the turbo was really quite logical. Now it hooks up, it goes, it just gets it. I mean, maybe a little squirrely at first and second, but I don't know if it's the Ford chassis or the Roush suspension or the big old meats in the back or maybe a combination of all three, but it's like this thing's job is to scare the living daylights out of you while keeping you on the straight and narrow. It's kind of like my pastor. Yes, I know, you want to see some tire smoke. Turn them over, a burnout. Do some donuts, perhaps. Well, let me tell you something about burnouts. If my 160 horsepower Honda Civic can turn them over in not only first gear, but second as well, I assure you this can do much, much more. Here, I'll prove it. See? It just sounds amazing. Yikes. Let me share a little pet peeve of mine. Something I see a little too often. Joe Blow decides he's gonna build his ride. But instead of taking it to a shop, he decides, probably save a lot of money, just do it myself. But unless he knows what he's doing, he's lucky to get it back together. And if he does, it doesn't run very well, and certainly not to its full potential. And that's what I love about this car. It was built by professionals in a professional shop. It was tuned by professionals at a dyno. And here's proof. It runs flawlessly. It's reliable, it's fast, it's smooth, it handles unbelievably well. All the gauges work and actually read properly. further on the note of doing things the right way, you may have noticed that this video has been a little, well, tame. As a Christian, I don't necessarily shoot for blatant rebellion of the law, or at least most of the time. Woo! Yes, I remember. But my wife and my 10-month-old have taught me to appreciate road laws and those who abide by them. So, you know, if you're gonna build a car and you're gonna make it fast or just do a few different things, then great, do it, have at it. But do it the right way, and then head to the track. Get some numbers, some actual results of all your hard work. Even better, get your racing license. If I had the money, I would hands down get my racing license. I would be out on the track right now, tearing it up. Literally. I would probably wreck. I guess that's kind of a downside to having a car with this much power. It's so easy to forget that every time you sit in the driver's seat, the amount of responsibility you have, it just, you know, your life and the life of your loved ones and, you know, complete strangers that are at the wrong place at the wrong time, all those lives could be changed in just an instant because you let your guard down, because you thought you could get away with it. It would be the gravest mistake you could make with a car like this. The other downside is when you're at a stoplight and a little plain Jane V6 automatic Mustang pulls up next to you, perhaps light blue with one of those chintzy spoilers on the back of them. And the little nerd inside, you know, he's really excited. He's like giving you the thumbs up, like, isn't it great? We're the same. Well, we're not. And that's the whole point. So, the verdict. Perfection. It's fast, it's smooth, it handles like a dream, and that exhaust, it just is so satisfying. It's very satisfying to drive around. It completely matches exactly what you have. I mean, it's got the Shaker 500 stereo, you know, with the sub and everything. And I think I turned it on once just to see if it worked. So whoever ends up getting this is getting something that is rarely seen. It's an all-around, well-built American muscle car, customized in almost every way. And whoever buys it, I didn't mention that? Oh, well, yes, I guess that's the best part. It's for sale.